he was so fierce and uncompromising, and some of you know that side of Jai. In fact, probably almost all of you know that side of Jai. But he was so often right. We'd go shopping together, and there were times when he'd say yes, and okay. In fact, his last bequest to Kalani was painting the pool. And we're all standing around going, oh God, I don't think we can live with this. And fortunately, Salita overheard us, and he's laughing, and told us, oh no, Jai expected it to become dirty. It's going to look like sand when it's finished. So we're going to have to give it some time. Jai never had enough time in his life. He was always in motion, always. One of his childhood friends wrote to me this week and said, I wish I had been a better friend to him. I wish that I'd had more time with him. And I wrote back and said, we all do. But Jai was always in motion. And the amazing thing about Jai was that you always got a quality of love from him. And no matter how many experiences you had with him, everyone felt his love. There were so many people he touched. The outpouring on Facebook this week has been unbelievable. And I've seen many of you out there, so I know you know as well as I do. He had the wonderful ability to, with just a word, just a couple words and a smirk, raise his eyebrow a little bit, kind of look at you halfway, and you couldn't help but crack up. So many, as fierce a demon as he was in housekeeping, and to which many of you will attest, Joe and Annalisa in particular, he had a knack of just doing funny things to make the people who came here to decompress feel a little bit better. He took so many people under his wing, so quietly. I mean, if you weren't watching, you missed it. But he touched so many people. He gave so many people an opportunity to feel better about themselves, to just unwind a little bit. And he was talented. Oh my God. I mean, most people didn't even know that he was a musician who played 4 instruments and sang incredibly difficult choir music, choral music, when he was in Minneapolis. But he was a little too shy to sing much here. His design skills everyone knows about. But what always struck me was that he had a particular vision. He would hone in on what he thought was important, and he would just cut away and cut away and cut away and cut away until he thought it was right. And then he duplicated and duplicated and duplicated and duplicated into a giant pattern. He believed that complexity was made up of simple things. And in some ways he lived that. He spread this incredible tapestry to all of the people that he touched. And most of those touches were very gentle and very simple. Some of them were pretty fierce. There were people he tortured. Jai studied with Byron Katie, who's known for the work. And he believed in something called holy pain. He believed that people should be provoked in order to unravel what was keeping them from expanding. And he practiced that, as people well know. So he was both a trickster and the kind, compassionate friend. And so many, 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 many things to so many people. What else? He just went on and on. He always stayed in motion, and he eventually moved on. I think all of us know people, very special people, who are not like most of us. You know? I mean, most of us come into this world and we attach ourselves to things and we build wonderful lives and we're always expanding those lives and always learning more. And then there are comets that flash across the sky. Jai was really a comet, more than a single star.
Been forming slowly.
And a rainbow. Yes. Yes. And a rainbow is actually very appropriate. I mean, Jai, Jai had so many things going on that he found it somewhat difficult to keep them all integrated. While he was sharing so much love every day with everyone he came into contact with, he was also struggling a little bit with his own tension, his own creative tension. Jai was not depressed. Jai was not in great pain. Yes, he had migraines. But what he did suffer from was this wonderful creative tension that he could never quite resolve. There were nights he would come over and he was so tense that I would actually just take him and go and unwind him. And he'd go, oh, good, thanks. And then we'd go on to drink some and tell stories. His friends in Minneapolis miss him greatly, as we all do. When you have someone like that in your life, it is impossible not to miss them, not to miss the joy they brought, the laughter they brought. We all feel both grief for Jai and a little bit of grief for ourselves that he's no longer here with us. And that's the way of the world, really. I had said in the story that I wrote that he sprinkled magic dust on us all that we have forever. And we actually have Jai forever as well. There are a number of us who can feel him. He's hanging out there, all gold and green and sparkly. I thought I was making things up until I talked to Marina Grace, who confirmed it, and then other people started chiming in, Michael Wertlieb and a whole bunch of people. And you can probably feel him too. And we can take a moment, and he'd like that. It would just take 2 breaths. And if you just close your eyes, and the first one is to relax, and if you just breathe in, and breathe down into the ground, and just let your emotions settle a little bit. And then breathe in, and breathe gently out through your heart into that beautiful sky in front of us. And look for something sparkly. That was Jai. He was love. That's all of us when we open ourselves up to our deepest, innermost creative impulses. And he would want us to do that. Hold on.